What is going on, guys? Right away, I know you can tell I'm not using my camera. I'm just using my phone. I just came back from a run. But you know, I was passing by my school because right now I'm running in my hometown, and it really kind of brought me back, man. I'm only 24 years old, but I tend to reminisce a lot on certain things. And there's two things specifically. Number one is, you know, all my life I've always thought that. Oh, there's a truck passing by. All my life I've always kind of considered myself like a builder in a sense, right? When I say that, I mean like I've always been interested in Legos. I took a architecture school back, like an architecture camp in the summer back in the day when I was my, you know, very young. And you know, being the fact that I love to build things, you know, with those said Legos, and you know, I went to architecture camp and I liked kind of how they put things together and build things up. I've always liked the idea of building, and at the same time in high school, I liked math. So it's like, yo, what makes the most sense in that case, right? Being an engineer, you have a little bit of both. And obviously now I'm making crypto videos full time. I didn't pursue engineering. In the end of the day, I did get a degree in engineering, but I didn't pursue it as a major. And I think I understand why now, because it's like, when I think of building, you know, well, I guess back in the day, I always thought of making these Lego formations, and I keep on referencing Legos, but I really love Legos. You don't understand. I really used to love building Legos. I always thought I liked building, creating physical structures, loved how things were designed and all that other stuff, right? I always just thought it was like the buildings, the structures, all that stuff. I used to think it was just how that stuff was made, the idea behind how it was made. But in all reality, I kind of come to figure out that it wasn't that I like to build stuff. It was more so that I like to create, I think. Mind you, this is just me going off the dome right now because I feel like I just realized this. I like to create. And that's what I'm doing now with these YouTube videos, man, or library videos, just videos in general. You know, I'm creating something. I'm creating content that's of value to certain people. And I think that's kind of where, like, that's the gap I've been trying to fill this entire time, man, you know? The idea that all my life I felt like I was destined to build something, where in my, I guess, the past years, or even before this moment, I've always felt that it was something physical. But in reality, it's, when I meant build, I really meant create. And create in a sense where it's like I'm creating this content for people that find value in it. And the other thing was, and by the way, to me that was a revelation just now. So I know that may seem kind of dumb to some of you, but to me that was pretty big, just thinking about that. But the other thing though is one thing I've always been really bad at. So it's kind of two polar opposites. One thing I feel like I've always been good at, and one thing I feel like I've always been bad at. Ooh, oversaturated. It'll go away. I've always been bad at explaining things. Now, in some of my videos, you may find that it's very easy to pick apart my videos. Potentially, if you see, like, at least I feel like I tend to kind of go on and ramble a lot when I don't know what I'm talking about. Obviously, I feel like a lot of people do that. But you know, even in real life, like in terms of like explaining things, whenever I would explain things to people, I would never do a good job at it. Personally, I've always felt that. I've always been bad at explaining things, partially due to the fact that I have a pretty bad stutter, and of course, I tend to speak faster than I can think. My dad always told me that. That's why I have a stutter. But what I'm saying is that, you know, with making these YouTube videos, I need to do research. I need to be able to explain what I'm talking about, right? And that to me is so interesting. The fact that, again, this is something I'm realizing now too. Just like literally just sitting there looking at my old high school and just thinking. I was just doing that now. I'm realizing all these things now. It's like, dude, I took the one thing that I was never good at and never really liked to do because I wasn't good at it, and pretty much made it currently my career. My job right now is to explain things to people, right, in the easiest way possible. And maybe in a sense that was like me, like this is me saying, you know, I'm gonna take what I was never good at and provide that value to people. Because to me, especially in the crypto space, this stuff is so complicated, most people don't understand it. you know, and I find even there are even videos out now that a lot of this stuff you still really can't explain. A lot of people don't know how to explain it. The basic stuff, yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum, people know how to explain that already. But the more complicated ones, the altcoins, the Web3, all those other different things, like the Web3 video that I made earlier, that video is doing really good for me, because every other video about Web3 that's been out in the past didn't make any sense, like to the average person. So I think maybe that's why I like doing this so much, is because I'm coming from the perspective of someone that has never been good at ever explaining anything, because of the stutter, because of me always being hyperactive, not being able to sit still, having some fucking some mild form of ADHD or some shit, and being able to kind of explain things in a coherent way that makes sense. I'm not saying all my videos make sense all the time. I'm sure there are some videos, there are certain parts of my videos where like it doesn't make any fucking sense at all. But let's walk back. But you know, I think I do a pretty good job currently. I haven't had anyone really tell me that my videos don't make any fucking sense yet. So I'm waiting on that one. But you know what? It's just so, I don't know. Like, obviously, everyone likes nostalgia. People like to, car. Everyone likes nostalgia. People like to reminisce on their old high school days if they liked it, middle school days if they liked it. But it's just so interesting that I kind of came up with that now. Like, you know, the one thing that I always felt like I was destined to do, which was build or create, I'm doing now. And the one thing that I always felt like I was horrible at, I'm doing now as well. It's like two polar opposites I'm kind of combining here. And listen, hey, I don't know why I'm kind of making a video on it. I just thought I'd document it as it comes, because I'm sure I'm going to forget this at some point. But it's crazy, dude. Like, it's just so interesting how shit works sometimes, man. And you know what? Listen, like I'm only 24, so I'm sure there's still a lot more to come in terms of what I have in store for me to learn, and me just changing and seeing things from a different light as an individual. But I definitely implore anyone who's watching this, if anyone is still watching this, if you're still watching this, then shout outs to you. But like, you know how appreciative I am. If you're still watching this, then like, maybe look into your own life, man. Women, you know, is there anything maybe that you are really good at that you find yourself doing without even realizing, or something that you're really bad at, you've always been bad at, and find that you're actually technically doing it without even realizing, right? Because again, like, I just can't believe I never thought about that. I don't know, but anyways, there are people over here. So I'm gonna talk to you guys later, all right? Thank you for stopping by and listening. I'm gonna catch you on the next one, all right? Video's coming out soon. Peace.